Hello, this is Bonnie's work. Today I'm so excited about to share one of my design. It's Brioche Cowl. It's been published on this Knitting magazine, 2018 winter. And today, let me show you. That's the one. Today I'm going to show you about how do I did this casting on. This I use alternate cable cast on, so you can see it's very stretched edges and very smooth and pretty. You can see brioche basically is a knit one, purl one, single ribbon. But this kind of method I cast on is make it all the single ribbon can all the way to the bottom, It just make a nice stretch and a very smooth. It's a nice finish. Alright, today I'm just going to show you how I do this part, how to cast on. And from the magazine we use, it's the same weight yarn, 100% baby alpaca and sports weights. I use a whole 2 string holds as one and make this kind of like a chunky weight. Okay, let's just get it started. So today I'm just going to use these 2 colors. So one for inside and one for outside. So alright, let's get this. For this kind of cast down, it's called the alternating cable cast down. That's what the project I use most for. If you have a sweater or a hat, use like a single ribbon. I use this kind of method. Just makes a pretty edge. Okay, first we'll make a slip knot. This is A, this is a B. Case each other. So we have a loop. Through the loop, we pull our working yarn. So for this project, it will be outside color. Basic knit stitch. Okay, we put on the left needle. We're going to we cast down this, still follow the order. It will be purl stitch, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. So this is first the slip stitch, it will be a purl stitch. So the second one, which is a good knit, like you basically standard knit, insert the needle, yarn over, you pull a loop, and put it back on the left needle. So we have 2 stitch. So the first one's purl, it's knit. So next one is going to be a purl. So from now on, we're going to insert the needle, right needle into the between the stitch. Called a cable cast down. You can check out other videos about the cable cast down. Anyway, so the next one is going to be purl stitch. So put a yarn in front. We're going to insert the needle between the stitch. Yarn over. We create another loop and put it back on. Okay, we have 3. It's purl, knit, purl. We're going to make a knit. Insert needle between the big space, between the last 2 stitches you just made. Insert the needle, yarn over, make another loop, put it back on. So you follow the order. The first one will be a purl, knit, purl, knit. So make it easier. So next one going to be a purl stitch. Put it back on. After you make the stitch, so most of the needle kind of you like a pull. Once you pull, you will have trouble. It's so hard. First, you hard to see the stitches. And second one, you will have a hard time to insert the needles. So what are we going to do? We're going to, once you make a loop, put it back on. I use my 2 fingers to hold up, catch them up, so I have big space, easier to insert the needles. So you just do this over and over until the stitch number you need. So purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. So how we can tell, we just did a purl stitch or knit stitch if I have so many stitches needed to be cast on, so how we can tell. So when you see the yarn in front, which means you just finish a purl stitch. So next one gotta be a knit stitch, right? Okay, insert the needle, yarn over, pull a loop, put it back on the left needle. So they are kind of behind the needles, so we know we just finished a knit stitch. So we just follow this order. And once you insert a needle, you can pull. So that make every single stitch the tension exactly the same, because you have a needle between the space. No matter how hard you pull, you have a needle to gauge there. Okay, let's cast down more, see what it looks like. Okay. So since we did this is a purl stitch, knit, purl, knit. So it looks like they're a pair. So looks at one here. See, like a kind of like a purl stitch, kind of a little bit behind. The knit stitch looks like a V in the front. It's purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. So we just continue cast on the stitch until the number you need. Then we're going to do, what do we do next row? Okay, since I'm going to show you working it around, this is a brioche stitch, so I cast on more stitch I need so I can work around. This is the first stitch, it's knit stitch. We're going to knit. Okay, next one, purl stitch. We're going to purl. Knit stitch, purl. This is only first row I need the back loop. This is only for the first row. Because when we cast on, put the loop, it's supposed to be like this, but I just easier to put this on the left needle. So when I knit, I just need a back loop. So I'm just getting need more stitches. You can see what it looks like. So you can tell purl, knit stitch, purl, knit, purl, all the way to the bottom. Make a nice, very pretty edge, just like this one. So let's just finish this row. Then we go and join them together. All right, I finished my first row, exactly like this. So you can tell I have extra 2 or 3 rows of the front collar. So I finished the first row. Now we're going to join them together to make sure you're not twisting anything. I'm going to join them. The first stitch is knit stitch. We're going to knit 1. Then we're going to put a marker. Now the purl stitch is the first stitch of each round for this pattern. Okay, we're going to do the brioche stitch from now on. So we're going to yarn in front. You slip off the first stitch as you're going to purl. First stitch is purl stitch anyway, so we're going to purl off. Keep your yarn in front. We're going to knit next one. It's a knit stitch. Go knit next one. Yarn in front. As you're going to purl, take it off from left needle. Keep yarn in front. You're going to knit next one. So I call this brioche stitch is a knit row because you only work on knit stitch but slip off the purl stitch. Keep yarn in front, don't forget keep yarn in front. Slip off the purl stitch, still keep yarn in front, then knit next one. So you are creating a yarn over on the purl stitch, but you still count at 1 stitch. So you can tell the yarn over hang on the purl stitch, knit stitch, the yarn will hang on the purl stitch. So we do this all the way to to the round that we're going to join the next color. Then I'm also going to show you how to deal with two colors. Oh, keep yarn in front. Because a lot of knitters, when they do this brioche, they have trouble the beginning and the end of a round, how to deal with the colors. I'm going to show you how to deal with colors, and your colors never going to messy together, never tangle together, and very easy to work with. Alright, let's just keep going until the end of a round. I'm almost in the end of a round. Keep your eye in front, slip off the purl stitch. The next one, slip marker. So we just drop this color here, out behind the needle. Just leave it alone. Now we're going to join the other colors. Okay, where is my color? Here we go. So I called this round, it's going to be a purl round because we only work on the purl stitch, but a slip off the knit stitch. Okay, keep your yarn in front. You can see from the last row we have a purl stitch hang on with a yarn over. We're going to yarn over them together. Okay, you leave a little bit long tail. Gonna yarn over together. Okay, we just keep the yarn in front, slip off the knit stitch. Like you're going to purl, but you slip off from left needle. The yarn in front, yarn over to the front again, and you purl stitch from the last row you create, have a yarn over hang on them together, you purl them together. Okay, let's do it again. Keep yarn in front, slip off the knit stitch, yarn over front again. So we create a yarn over on the knit stitch, and we're going to purl them together. Okay, yarn in front, slip off, put a yarn over in the front again, purl them together. Okay, we kind of always keep the yarn in front for this row. Slip off the knit stitch, the front again, basically do the yarn over, then purl the next purl stitch again. Okay, so pretty much you create a yarn over on a knit stitch. This is how you can tell which row you are on. If you're done this row, if you're working on it, so you can tell which next row what it's going to be. You just look where the yarn over is. Where the yarn over is on knit stitch, which means you're going to work on the knit row. Okay, let's just finish this one. I'm going to tell you how to deal with the colors. Alright, I'm here almost the end, which is to finish the last few stitches. Okay, it's the most important last stitch. Last stitch in knit stitch, we do not do anything. We just keep yarn in front, slip off. The important, you're going to make the yarn over to the front again because we need this yarn over hang on the knit stitch. So we're going to yarn in front. We're going to rotate all the way to the left. So basically, you put a yarn in front. Pick the hands up. So my inside color, while I do this work, my yarn always in the front. So you have nothing to do each other. You're never fighting. Keep the yarn in front. But remember, this stitch you need to make extra yarn over, so you need yarn over hang on the knit stitch. Alright, now we just leave it alone. We just pick up this next color, remove the marker, slap the marker, continue to do whatever stitch is. Then it's going to be yarn in front, slap off the purl stitch, keep yarn in front. We knit them together. From last time, we just create a yarn over hang on the knit stitch. Yarn in front, slap off. Okay, do it again. Yarn in front, slap off the purl stitch. Then knit next one, keep that in front, knit the next. So we create a yarn over on the purl stitch. So you can tell the way I cast down, I have 2 rows extra. I think it's pretty because I have kind of like a nice finish in the beginning and the finish too. Okay, we'll just do this row again. So pretty much you just slap off the purl stitch, so you only do working on the knit stitch. I call it a knit row because I only yarn in front, take off the purl stitch, only work on the knit stitch. Okay, let's finish this row. I'm going to tell what I'm going to do at the end of the round. Alright, I'm in the last few stitches. Yarn in front, take off the purl stitch, knit the knit stitch. Yarn in front, take off the purl stitch, knit to the last one. Okay, so I'm done this row. I'm drop the color, slap on my marker, and pick up the other color. I'm just continue the pattern. So here, once you're done, you can use the end to seal up the row. But the transition here is always smooth, with others exactly same. Okay, and the next row will be purl them together. Slap off this stitch, yarn in front again, purl them again. You pull the end, see? Pretty much you won't see the difference. So you just repeat this over and over to do the edge, then follow the pattern to do, this is the wrong side, to do the pattern. That's how that looks like. Alright, this is it today. I have to show you around. I make other little sample here. That's how that done. That's how I cast down, and I put off here, and you need two more rows as a pattern. Then we have a nice finish, the edge. I think that's pretty. Alright, thank you for watching today, and this is Bonnie's work, and happy knitting. I'll see you next time.